And welcome to Debate 4-on-1. Thank you so much for joining us. One more time, I'll take that. Welcome to Debate 4-on-1. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Debate 4-on-1. As always, we get to meet here to discuss and sometimes debate and agree to disagree on key issues of importance to us, whether politically, socially, economically, you name it. And my name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Today, we're talking about the issue of nightlife, entertainment. And of course, we're talking about it as we look at the focus on curbing noise pollution. And is the process of doing that affecting businesses that are in that particular line of entertainment? These are some of the arguments and discussions we're going to be talking about right here on the program. Who best to help us to talk about this other than the good mayor of the city of Kigali, Fidel Ndayisaba? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Also with us for the next time, I don't know how many time it is, but we're honored to have you on the program again, the police spokesperson, Celestine Twahirwa. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Davis is of Showtime. He's the man who organizes those events and sometimes probably feels like we need to do more to encourage them. And of course, he's here on the program to share with us his perspective. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Eugene.
Julius is a pastor, and of course, he also feels like the pastors as well have been affected with the process of curbing noise pollution. He'll also be sharing his thoughts with us. You too can share with us your opinions. All you need to do is tweet us at Debate4on1. Use the hashtag Debate4on1, or you can tweet me directly at Eugene Anangwe. I'll be reading your comments in the process of the program. Let's start off with Davis. And Davis, it's important for us to understand from your perspective. We've had some complaints from different quarters, sometimes on social media platforms, Twitter, you name it, that we had organized this event, we had spent this amount of money to bring artist X, and the time this artist stepped on the stage, the police came, the party was stopped, and we went at a loss. And so you feel that this whole issue of dealing with noise pollution is affecting your industry. You can explain that more.
Well, I thank you, Eugene. Well, on the background of events in Rwanda, and more importantly in Kigali, it's definitely a challenge. It's a huge challenge. I'll just take a quick example. Just about a month ago, Mutzig was doing the Beer Fest, yeah? And the Beer Fest is one of those events that has spent about 2 years without taking place. So this time round, marketing felt they needed to revive it, give it a push, bring in, big musicians and all that.
Yes.
And they also thought and said, let's do it a bit different because we have a challenge of noise, pollution and clamping down events. Let's take it a bit far. So management said, take the event to Rugendo, new experience, new venue, new everything. Then they brought in a couple of different musicians from over the place. So it was a 2-day beer fest. Well, I happened to be there, just going through the usual event with friends and family. And then come about 10 p.m.
So in a nutshell, you are not happy with the way it was handled when it comes to closing down the event?
Yeah, 2 areas. Yes. One, I thought now we were out of Kigali. So we were out of Kigali next to a highway. I couldn't really see people who are residentials there. So I felt that, people are going to really get value for money. You've paid your entrance, you want to have a good time. You're not going to have a situation where police are going to come and say, hey, shut down. So you're sitting there, you're watching, and then you see the program being rushed. Then next minute you find some musicians are not performing. Then finally you realize that people are not getting what they were expecting. From the management side of Brayirwa, there's nothing much they can do about it. The other experience that I personally went through and I totally didn't appreciate was I was one of their VIP guests, and I was backstage with other musicians. And then a policeman walked in with some escorts, with guns, and he just shouted at us guys. We're in a tent backstage, where no one is supposed to reach actually. It's supposed to be just the organizers and management. And he just says, "Way, Baongaho, get out of here." And then I look at the man and I say, "Wait a minute, we have badges here, we're on duty. What's going on?" I said, "Get out of here." So I got a bit concerned. I said, now, how does this officer come from wherever post he has come from, past management, past organizers, and jump to me, the guest who's behind the event? So I was totally bothered about it, and I just told the brand manager, if you guys need to do something about it, because these quarters are not for officers with guns to come and evict people out.
Hold that thought. We'll be bringing in Julius to share with us his experience, but of course, let's bring in the good mayor. Fidel, listening to what Davis is saying, and probably those who are of similar thoughts or similar experiences like him out there, what can you tell them and justify to them that, you know, as a city, we are concerned about your nightlife, and we want you to enjoy your good time, and also in a secure environment?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Eugene. Of course, as a city, we want people to enjoy their life, to enjoy the entertainment responsibly. First of all, we want people to enjoy. That's the first thing. But to do it in a responsible manner, respecting others, of course, and respecting laws. That is the just the line drawn between.
That's the principle.
Yes. People want to enjoy entertainment, but also to respect others, as long as you don't disturb others. That is good. But if there is any disturbance caused, of course, it has to be handled, and handled professionally. Yeah.
Handled professionally.
Yeah.
Let's bring in the good friend of mine, professional on these matters of security. And Davis mentioned how he went through an experience of being roughed up. You know, the cops come with escort and tell you, vaungao, just get out of there. And he doesn't understand. Are these people out to protect me or to harass me or to make my life miserable? How do you explain to people who have gone through such experiences when they're having a good time and a cop just came and said, shut it down? And they would say, we have permit, we have permission to do this until this particular time. But the cop says, just I said, shut it down. Just shut it down because I said so. I mean, how do you explain to people that we are not just doing this to exercise or show you how powerful we are, you know, at the end of the day?
Yeah, thank you, Anangwe. Yeah, the truth of the matter is that entertainment is necessary. Much as public order, law enforcement is another necessity. And you can't do without that. So, if there is an entertainment that is going on and is not in any way breaking the law, it is not affecting a public order, nobody is affected and nobody is complaining, police is very comfortable. We just protect the entertainment to go on until these people are satisfied. But as long as you have somebody that is complaining that the entertainment is infringing on my rights, then police will come in to make sure that these rights are also
Protected.
So and the order is maintained.
Yes, yes.
That's the bottom line.
Do you agree that there could be some situations or scenarios where certain officers abuse this privilege of saying we're protecting or ensuring the rights of the others are met, but at the same time infringing the right of this other person?
Well, I wouldn't buy the idea of abuse because there is no police officer who acts in isolation. If one police officer is not doing it well, he has got leadership. And I'm very sure that any Rwandan, to the extent of this level of being entertainer, event organizer, you have an idea of who to appeal to, who to talk to. So there is no police officer who will act alone.
In isolation?
No.
So whatever one officer does, it's been
so
ordered
it's something
by
that has to be done professionally within the legal framework and with all the command structure involved. If anything goes wrong, then the responsible commander will take charge. So once there is anything to be resolved, it can't be resolved by an individual officer.
I'll be coming into those specific scenarios where, the officer says that we need to also respect the rule of law, and how do we ensure that happens? Julius, you're from the religious organizations. You also say you have concerns that we are not able to continue doing what we do or used to do because we are being shut down. I mean, what's the case scenario with you?
If I go far, just like to ask a question, if possible.
Yes.
to Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
the city. You say that it's good to do things to respect others. But my question is, how sure are you that these people who are complaining, if they are there in court, are complaining from the right way? Which measures are you using to know that these people are not jealous or biased for the advancement of other people, and they are using that to interrupt their progress, to interrupt their business, to interrupt their worship? Because they say that they are disturbed, they are not happy, but which measures are you taking to know that these people probably they are not biased, or they don't have their own issues? Some of them, they are biased on the beliefs. Some of them, probably they have jealousy for the brothers and sisters who are doing their business.
Point is dry.
So that's
It's
my
home
question
and dry.
first, before
Yes.
I go far.
Yes.
Which measures and
Mayor.
how sure are you?
Sure, thank you. First of all, as leadership, being the administration, local administration, the law enforcers, the police, we don't simply take action because of the say of someone. There is verification which has to happen. If there is something going wrong reported, it has to be verified.
So
And
in all these cases, they've
absolutely.
all been verified.
Absolutely.
With
It has
using
to
which
be
measures?
verified.
Using which measures?
It has to be verified. If it is a matter of noise pollution, we have a gadget, and it is easy with the IT system. Even with your phone, you can do that. And if there's someone telling you that he's being or she's being disturbed from one place, people, they go there, they test if really there is a case. If there is no case, the person gets feedback. If there is really case, and now the polluter has to be informed and then advised how to respect the law and to respect others.
So what happens is there's a team that comes with the gadgets and says, we are going to measure because we received a call, but we also want to verify. We'll measure the noise or the sound coming from
if
the place.
necessary to measure, and there is some circumstances where yourself you don't even need to measure. You just
use your ears and you
Yes,
know
yes.
this one is noise.
And about the church's activities and worship, this is interesting. You know, in our country, we respect the beliefs and
Rights of every
yes,
religious group.
to exercise. But also, anyone has the right to put someone else in his church by force. Just, I'm worshiping here, it's good. Many of us, we even go to churches. But what is important is that you interact with the people you have in your place, in your church, and leave others outside doing their businesses. You don't have to necessarily, if, let's say, if I'm not a believer in your...
And my church is here, you not necessarily need to hear what is going on where I am.
Why don't you, if it is to preach, why don't you preach to the people you are together with? Why are you going beyond? And there is a way to do that. You don't need necessarily to use a huge sound system to disseminate the noise and the voices from this area to that one. Sometimes the people, they use an unnecessary capacity, more than what is needed. For the church,
They want to fish many others who are home so that they can come. And that is wrong.
And no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
Let me, before you come back, Julius, because you had the floor earlier on, but let's take a moment and talk about what the mayor talked about here, about the verification. and you giggled a bit. You sort of made a sound that sort of says you are not really, convinced by that statement. That usually they come, check, or we don't even need to come with the equipment. We'll just listen and we'll say this is noise and we'll shut it down.
Well, in the last debate we had with the mayor, we talked about the gadgets. That was last year.
Yeah.
And now he tells us that they're gadgets that they're used. I, for one, I haven't seen any gadget. And if you randomly asked 10 business owners in hotels or, entertainment activities, if they even know what are the standards that they should work with or work within in terms of sound pollution, noise pollution and all that, I don't think anyone knows even what a gadget looks like or what should they look out for. So, again, a few weeks ago, we have some investors in the country and they're asking me, where do we go? So I walked to Mekolin and I asked them, is the band back? And they said, the band is not yet back. So I said, but what's the problem? They said, no, actually, we had been asked to buy a gadget, which we bought. And even until now, we still have our gadgets, but we still don't have the permission to run the band.
So even with the gadget,
with the gadget,
still not
this is a hotel, Foster Hotel, one of a kind that has a culture of having a band. They have bought a gadget, but they're still not able to run the usual nights they used to run. So I got a bit confused. I was like, no, so what works now? If you have the gadget, you have the establishment, and you still cannot run, then are you going to soundproof a place to run a band? Some of these leisure sports are designed not to be soundproofed. You have a poolside, you have different sections of the place. So you can't really soundproof every entertainment place.
You can regulate.
You can regulate.
So let's talk about the regulation part, my friend Celestin. Especially when he says that some of us in the entertainment industry usually even don't know about this gadget. We haven't even seen it. Or if we have, probably in pictures, but we do not know what is the limit. Are you concerned that this information is not out here, yet we want people to comply?
Yeah, the information is there.
You're confirmed. You
Yeah,
can
the
testify
information
that.
is there because this is a gadget that can be bought from anywhere. It's not limited to the government or anybody. If you are complaining that you don't know the level of sound that you need to have, I think it's better use the gadget because the gadget itself tells you this is the level in a neighborhood. This is the level you can have in an open place. It has got its regulation. It is very clear. You need to have it yourself. Let me use analogies to explain what he's saying. It's like you are driving a vehicle, and the police stops you, that you are speeding,
Yes.
and just because your vehicle does not have a speedometer, you ask, at what speed should I be? It's your problem. You should have the speedometer. Your vehicle should be telling you you are at 60, you are at 70. You get the point? So if you are
So they
entering
should
this
not
business
sit and
of
wait for you to
entertainment,
come and tell them what to.
yes, if you are using this, you are going to this business of entertainment, you need to have all the requirements that will tell you this is the best level. You get the point? The only thing that we need to agree on is that get advised that this gadget is there, look for it, and use it appropriately to regulate your sound. It is something very simple. If you want to buy it, you will buy. Again, we have been together in this business. Stop shouting. Please, the noise is too much. People are complaining. I think it has been a business they understand that needs to be regulated. We also do understand this. This is based on the law. This is based on public order. There is nothing that is just being done from
Out of the ordinary.
No.
So you're not
it's
just
not
out
something
here
that we
to
simply
make
decide.
their
It is what is
businesses.
actually set there.
Yes.
So what we need to do is to understand what to do.
And maybe a point of information you want to share with my friend is that standards are there and published by Rwanda Standard Board, actually. They are available. Standards are available. Whoever wants to have standards in terms of noise tolerance,
They should go and visit.
they have been
So what
published.
you're saying is they need to do their homework and not just sit there and wait
And
for the police and the city to come and tell them what they need to do and
whoever
what they don't
wants
need to do.
to know what kind of standards and what is needed, not only to avoid noise pollution, for your own good, because it is important also to have those indications, because they help to know what kind of noise tolerance we should have, because depending on how long you are exposed to a certain level of noise, depending on different activities and the conditions, the age and everything, it has an impact on your life.
It will have an
People
impact.
should know that whatever being done is not just for others, even people inside who are being exposed to the noise. It is important for the quality of life, because you can get finally people
Does that justify why some officers, sometimes some people have argued and said, walk into the nightclub inside, and then they come and tell the DJ, reduce the volume?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, noise pollution is not only for people outside. People should take care of even people they are together with them. And those standards, if you read them and you understand them clearly, they give you a clear indication how people should manage with noise, so that it doesn't affect negatively the life of people.
Of the others.
Yeah.
Why are you using so many speakers, very big systems, to preach to people that are just here and you want everybody else to hear? When we come back from the break, you'll be giving me that particular answer, okay? Thank you so much. And of course, thank you also for watching. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. Talk to us. Let us know what your thoughts are from the statements that are coming out of this particular program right about now. Tell us your thoughts. As far as dealing with noise pollution is concerned, is it killing businesses in the entertainment industry? You can talk to us whether you were agreeing with the mayor who says those who come to tell you reduce this volume are actually concerned about your health, or they're just out to make your life miserable in terms of your business. Talk to us. Debate 411 is the hashtag, and of course the handles are at Eugene Anangwe or at Debate 411. We'll be reading them when we come back from the break. Stay with us.
So Natasha, are we cornering our teachers? Are we being unfair to them?
At the end of the day, Fiona also mentions that the more you show them this condom, the more you're opening up their minds to having sex. But do you feel well represented? Do you think the media issues are well taken to the table when it comes to advocacy? How do we convince them and say that we shut it down because you exceeded the limits? The word conservation looks just complicated, but how do we simplify this?
What role do our schools play then? And the people around our children, what role can they play in order to avoid these children becoming a menace in the society?
Caroline, you just want to sound moral, but you're just not accepting the reality on the ground.
Well, I want to sound moral and encourage it and practice it.
This is an EA production.
Shop at Nakumatt TTC and Nakumatt Kigali City Tower and enjoy 50% discounts on home living face towels, bath towels, and hand towels. Grab this great opportunity and get yourself selected carpets at a half price. Hurry, hurry, hurry while stocks last.
Terms and conditions apply. Nakumatt, you need it. We've got it.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for being with us on Debate 411. We are live, and of course, we'll be reading some of your comments right about now. If you do not know how to be part of the program, it's very simple. If you are on Twitter, the Twitter handle is at Debate 411. And of course, you can use the hashtag Debate 411, and you can also as well follow that. And you can also tweet me directly at Eugene Anangwe. I'll also be reading some of your Facebook comments. Just send them in. And any other platform, if you have my number, you just send it there. And of course, we'll be reading them right here on the program. Now, we're talking about the issue of noise pollution and whether we're just killing the entertainment industry in the country. And of course, we have the good mayor of Kigali, Fidel Ndayisaba. We have the police spokesperson, Celestine Twahirwa. We have Davis of Showtime, and of course, Pastor Julius right here. Before Julius comes in to answer the question, I have a few comments that have been coming in. It's very important if we react to them. We have one tweet here that says, "Did the frogs in Lake Gashora complain about noise at La Police Nyandungu?" Because there must have been an incident where an event was shut down, and we've said if someone complains, we head there, we verify, we then shut it down or advise you to reduce the volume. This is a concern. City Mayor, would you love to give an answer to that?
But, for the particular case, I would appreciate if we know when it happened and how is it. I don't have any...
And you don't want to speculate?
Yes. But for sure, if it happened, for sure the complaint was there and it should have been verified. The good thing is that the administration in this country does not stop to one person or one police officer. If something happens and you think that something is going wrong, there is always a way to address it to the superior and having, yes.
So what you're saying here is that these people have appeal mechanisms and platforms. When their event is shut down and they felt that it was wrongly done so, where do they go?
Absolutely.
Where can they go?
Yes, if it is, we have the police has the leadership. In the administration, you have the leadership. You know, one officer can make a mistake. They are human beings. If it happens like that, it is good to report it and to appeal, and we attend to it. And if there is any misconduct, we take measures. It's important. For that particular case, I can't say anything because I don't have any complaint.
I think what he's insinuating is the complaint mechanism to appeal.
Absolutely.
Why haven't you guys appealed ever? You just complain in silence. No one goes to the police to just say, honestly, our event was just shut down for no reason and we have valid proof and this is what we need in return.
Well, Eugene,
Mayor says that is possible.
That's a good point, yeah? But you see, when the mayor said, one, personally, I think, just from the private sector side, with the whole EDP arrest, facilitating the private sector to lead the economy.
Yes.
You would expect people, the institutions that really are pretty much running this whole entire noise clamping down. The mayor's office with the police help. At least, if they can have the time to rush to a place and shut down any the event or a band that is performing or a gusaba that is taking place, they can also have time to be able to approach these businesses and tell them, you know what, these are the standards. If you want to buy a gadget to help you with your business, this is what you should look out for. If you have a complaint, please contact so and so, or this is the email addresses. There should be also that effort from their side. Because if I'm a business owner, I've come into the country, I've gone to RDB, I put my money into a business. Next minute, you come with guns all over the place, you shut down the place, I ask what is it, tell me noise pollution. Then what? Okay, go buy a gadget. Then I buy a gadget, then what? There have to be clear standards that say this is what we expect in a place that operates a nightclub, in a place that operates a bar, because noise is different at every level. If I'm running a function at home, it's not the same as someone who's running a bar in Sundowner or somebody who's running a club at K Club. It's all different. So we need to understand what is enough or what is...
For which area?
Yeah, for which area.
But they said you need to go to the standards board and get this particular information. It's there. You should not just sit and wait for them to tell you.
But you can imagine, I get to hear of this the first time, but the people I meet are the policemen. These are the people who interact with me daily. So when they come to my place of business, I engage the officer and say, excuse me, how did you again? What was the noise? Then someone complained. It's always the same story. Someone complained.
Always the same story. You'll come in. I promise you, you'll come in. But Afande, is it possible to meet somewhere in between with those event organizers or those who are like him who are crying foul and say, from our communications department and the police, we're going to come out with, some information, either on a weekly basis, monthly basis, even during Muganda, share this information so that we do not have this grudge, where we meet on a common ground and say, this is the situation, this is where you play your role, and this is where we play our role. Can we do that? Or are we doing it?
Well, I think Davis has been persistent saying that police comes to his place. Mm-hmm. And I think as a business owner, if the first incident showed him something is wrong, I don't think he just keep there waiting. He must do something to make sure it doesn't keep long. Well, police communicates. We have so many ways of communicating, and we don't work in isolation. We work together with local administration.
Yes.
And whatever we intend to do is communicated even earlier. That once there is noise pollution that is affecting the neighborhood,
yes,
be notified.
Yes.
But that you will be stopped. Apart from that, even before stopping the shout, they will just come to you and tell you, please, the volume is too high. Can you reduce the volume? So when it comes to the extent of shouting, it's because you have been stubborn enough, you are afraid to obey the instruction and the advice. And people complaining outside there will keep complaining not until you do something. Mm-hmm. So it is the entertainment industry responsibility to know that we are supposed to move and make sure that sound does not go beyond here. Mm-hmm. This is what is required. Because this is not the first day to debate this.
Yes.
As long as we have debated this, then each of us should have done something to make sure everything was in order.
And you feel the police and the authorities have done their part, it's now their turn?
We've done our part, one, by making awareness about noise pollution. We've done our part by telling everybody that these are the laws that regulate noise pollution. Mm-hmm. We've done our part by telling people that if you don't comply to this and affect the neighborhood,
we will do this.
We do this.
But and this has been done several times. These laws? You've been told all these things. You have been instructed. The police has given you the information. You still continue using big speakers because
First
you want everybody to hear what you're saying.
I appreciate Mayor and Afande for the good information they are giving us right now here. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say that it could be really very good if this information you are giving here, if it has been done or given before down there.
But Afande says they do it.
Yeah.
You're the ones who are on the wrong.
We are not wrong. As my brothers say, they must set up a standard even before they come to implement these laws.
But they say the Rwanda Bureau of Standards,
but you see,
boards has these standards.
The challenge is, what I think, the Rwanda Bureau of Standards may do a good job, but the implementer, they are not given a real information. Secondly, what I think they could have, let me call it a meeting and inform the people who are concerned what is going to happen. It is really very difficult, and we need also to understand that a human being is not easy to adapt to change.
So and you want to be constantly followed with a cane.
Yes. Now, when you just make something up there and you start implementing it without informing people who are concerned, really, allow me to say that some of the people, they don't know even the goodness of this, yet it's very good. Mm-hmm. So the issue is not how it was planned. The issue is how the implementation. And I would like also
before you add the other one, because we don't have too much time, the point is home and dry, but it's important to bring the mayor directly on that one. Mayor, he feels you're not talking enough. You're not telling these people enough.
I think maybe, Julius, I don't know how long he has been a pastor, but me personally have had many meetings with leaders of churches here and different meeting rooms here and different hotels. At a certain point, actually, we have put together a self-regulatory authority mechanism
that determines the standards.
And at that time, we have been discussing those issues. The standards we have been communicating. It's not really the first time, I'm sure. And we don't just rely on saying standards have been published. No, we have been talking. We have been debating. We have been conducting press conference, you have been inviting different people, and you will continue to do that.
Some of them argue that
maybe the information cannot reach everybody at the same time.
Yes.
Sometimes one can be not informed at the right time, but we will continue.
So you should wait for his turn for information to reach him. But listen, there are those who argue and say this information is usually coming as a directive. It doesn't come as a consultation. At the end of it, when we're being told to come and meet at this hall to be given this information, it's usually a directive. We haven't been consulted. We have been asked.
Oh.
I mean, how do you explain
you
that?
know, what we are talking about, it's an issue of law. And we know how the law are being put in place. You don't just wake up a morning and you go in the official gazette, you put there a law. There's a consultative mechanism through different stakeholders, up to the parliament, up to the publication, and awareness on those laws. And this is a new law. You know, the law regulating the issue of noise pollution is the organic law on environment, which has been published, has been there since 2005. It's not something new.
But are you concerned that it's not new, but
and
there are those who still complain and say they don't know about this?
What I agree, and we should keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's a communication. Thank you for organizing it, like this, and the others. Yeah.
Karibu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So information and communication, it is not something we can say, I've done it. It's, no. And,
so when you move out of this seat today, what
but
direct
also,
strategy are you going to be doing
enforcement.
then for this? Yes, enforcement.
And also enforcement is another way of giving information. Because when a law is there or any regulation is there and it is communicated, sometimes if you have not been aware,
you break the law, you learn from the experience.
And you know, and the others, they are informed.
Would you go for that? I mean, is this working practically? That by you finding yourself on the wrong side of the law, you're learning in the process. Would you say this is how we go, or what would you say
for me, I would
should be the way forward?
I would appreciate from the mayor's office.
Yes.
I've been doing events for over 10 years, but I've never met the mayor on any of these, discussions. We do events for telecoms, for breweries, we do concerts.
Yes.
We were doing Dinner and Blood at that time in the stadium. And still, again, we had an issue of sound in the stadium.
Yes.
So I began to ask myself, is there any place in Rwanda where actually someone can go and make noise? At least go and scream, just burn off the energy, the steam, you go out and just, make noise. Because, sometimes a lot of people want to go out and do that. You have young guys, you have people who have been in offices the whole week, and you're asking yourself, where do I steam off? Where do I go and just have some loud music, Simple things like that. Basically putting all that in mind as well. That's why we're trying to push events as far as we can. We go as far as Rubavu to do events. Why? Because we're trying to give the city space so they can, there's no question of noise. But then from the mayor's office, I'll just ask the mayor's office to kindly try and get stakeholders like us who are in events, the hotels, who are running businesses, Most of them are even foreigners. They come in here, they don't even know where to start from. Yeah, just invite them in, talk to them. This is what we're planning to do.
Yes.
What concerns do you have? And then from the police's end, I totally appreciate our police without even a doubt. In terms of security, in terms of the way they look, the moment you see the man, his man is doing his job. But
are you now shooting yourself on the leg? Earlier on, you were saying they come with stone face, with a gun, and now you're saying
I'll give an example. When
they look good.
When I'm driving and I see traffic, I'm like, wow, this uniform looks good.
Yes.
But when I'm in my leisure mood, I'm chilling somewhere. Probably it's by the beach side. It's a picnic, and then the DJ's playing good music there. I'm out of town. Then there's an issue of someone has complained, and then an officer walks in with 4 guys with guns.
Yeah.
To the DJ section.
Yeah.
It just looks bad.
That affects you. Let's talk a bit with Afande Celestine, because very quickly we need to go, but it's important to hear from him, because, Afande, what do we do in a scenario where the police comes, for instance, he has his gadget, for example, for measuring the sound, and they have measured and they are not exceeding what they're supposed to be playing. But the cop comes and just says, you're shutting it down. Yet the cop doesn't have probably the gadget to test that, just because they've been told by someone. What do these people do? What can they do? Let's inform them now. Do they call you? Do they call top people at the top? What do they do?
Well, I realize you are working on assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Because
this is an assumption.
Yes,
if this was to happen, what should they do?
That assumption is likely to mislead the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Because in an extreme situation, when the police officer comes to the DJ,
yes,
that has gone beyond doubt that this is too much noise.
So there's no point where the cop will be wrong.
Just listen to me.
Yes.
The issue is not being wrong or not.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is when does the police come to tell you stop.
Mm-hmm.
This is when the situation has gone beyond control.
Yes.
If you have your gadget,
yes,
and the gadget has state standards, it is very clear,
yes,
that in an entertainment situation, this is the maximum, and you are going by that. You will never see any police officer coming to you, because this is the standard. And this is a place that is acceptable to have this maximum sound. But if you are in the middle of a neighborhood where people are sleeping, others are doing homework, others are on their computer doing their own work,
playing your music,
and your music is, jeopardizing their program, they will come to you, and police will tell you, please. Some people are complaining, and we can actually see that it is affecting the whole neighborhood. Can you please reduce your volume?
And if you don't,
and if you reduce your volume, there is no complaint.
Goes on well. But the mayor said,
we have been very lenient,
yes,
in terms of advising people, not reacting straight.
Yeah.
Because this is something that is being done as a process.
Yeah.
That people need to understand this and finally make it a culture. And make sure that whenever you are doing your entertainment, you do not infringe on others' rights.
Yeah.
That's what has been the practice.
And that's the principle.
But the law
tells
you exactly what to do. It even gives you some responsibilities of stopping the whole system and take it away.
So, the mayor said here that sometimes police also are, they're humans. They can make an error. They can make a judgmental error. So I'm just asking, in that situation, what should happen?
What should happen is that once you are not satisfied with what is being done, then call the leadership of the police. The corporal has done this on the ground. He has a commander. You have our toll-free lines. They are always there, 24/7. If you are not comfortable with what is happening, just call and inform. And we'll make sure we get involved and see if this has been
done in
the
the
right
proper way.
thing to do it.
Good.
And don't think they are angels. It can happen, probably.
Super.
But it has never been the case.
In any way. Okay, we have only 2 minutes and we need to go around and now find the way forward. What do we do? We've had a situation in some very worst scenarios. We've sort of seen a drawn line. It's us versus the police who want to just stop our fun. But this is not what we want for this country. We want a situation where everybody coexists with the other, where you're having a good time, the police are protecting you, but you're also respecting the rights of others. Where do we go from here to ensure that that happens and no more lines, that these are the cops, this is the city, it's against us? How do we do that?
First of all, I'd like to
very
say
quickly, yes,
that the city and the government large, they need to understand that we are really appreciate what they do, and we are willing to complement whatever they need to do. But also, in the same way, they need to be very flexible when they try to put or to practice the law. And so they need to be very flexible in terms of implementation. They need to continue to educate people how to do it. And also, these people are going to the ground. They need to have well equipped with all facilities that will be able to measure. Early on, I found a give example of somebody who can get a driver and they say you are
very
speeding.
Quickly, Julius.
So, but even the police, if he does not have the way to know that this person was speeding, just I saw it was speeding, there's a problem. So before they come to tell me shut down, make this, they need to have. And also, I would like to request them. They need to be very flexible, because even as I finish, even the government itself, they have some institutions that are still working in a small houses. They are not with all not facilities. After these 21 years, it is a process of rebuilding. It is a process of educating.
So you're saying it's a process also for
process.
you to adapt to the new changes.
Yes.
So they should be flexible with you.
Yes.
Not punish you too much.
Yeah, they should be able to educate and be
Amen
flexible
to
with
that.
us.
Let's go to you very quickly. Where do we go from here? Common ground.
Well, earlier on, different friends and business partners and colleagues are telling them going to the show, and they're saying, "Okay, you guys have a debate, but where's the action?
Yes.
What's the result?
Yes.
Every time you have a debate, we don't see any change."
Yes. So this time, what do you want?
Yeah, so
what change do you want?
One for me right now is I'll just ask the police when it comes to events, it comes to leisure sports. There should be, I think, a better approach to an officer coming into a place like that. And whether he's coming there for the right reasons, noise pollution, the walking into leisure sport, or uniform and guns and everything, it just gives a wrong feel.
So you want a different approach for coming?
Like there's something very wrong about what's happening. You know. So if probably he's a civilian and he's an officer and he walks in there, it looks it's much easier, in terms of people who are there and asking, hey, what's happening? What has gone wrong? Yeah. And yet it's sort an issue of that
Super.
kind.
It's time.
Yeah.
Afande, very quickly, what do you want us to do when we leave this place and moving forward?
I would actually try to mix what they are saying with what you have been saying even before.
Yes.
It is appropriate to maintain law and order from both the entertainment perspective and from a security perspective.
Yes.
You make sure your entertainment that you are conducting is giving you the leisure you want, but it's not affecting people outside. It's not affecting people outside your site, and you are enjoying in the atmosphere that helps you and helps others
also.
Beyond that.
Yes.
That's one. Two, when it comes to the situation of forcing police to come and enforce it, please accept that this is being done on your behalf. Because if it was you complaining, you would like this thing to stop as well. So let us try to have a win-win situation where what you are doing is for your own people, is for yourself, and it's for the good of everybody.
Yes.
Now, finally, I want to say that police is making the situation, the environment safe for everybody. Not for musicians, not for those getting entertainment, and not even for people outside, but for everybody.
Yeah.
The laws are always made for the community.
Yeah.
Which community you come from.
Yeah.
So if you want to enjoy and infringe on others' rights, if you want to enjoy and breach the law, it will not work.
Yes. Allow me to bring in the mayor now as we sum up this very quickly. What message do you want out here? And are we going to take in some of the things that I've said in terms of communication? What are we going to be doing immediately?
Sure. We'll always keep communicating and educating. This is our role and responsibility in our business and interaction we are having with people. And it is always good to have also feedback of people in our governance. We use the participatory method where we get feedbacks and the comments of people. But what I would suggest as actually we approach the end of the year, this is the festive period, Christmas and end of year, it's time for celebrations. So, we really encourage people to celebrate, but to be always mindful for other rights, and also where any consultation or information needed to approach us like they do.
Yeah, I'm told we need to go.
Sure.
Yes.
Where those events are happening, we actually ensure security. Police there, we are there because when you have a big gathering like that, we are there to facilitate and to assist. Mm-hmm. So where needed, where any consultation needed, you want to organize any big event, People have been always in touch with us. Let's keep engaging each other so that we make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Okay, so they need to come to your office and consult. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the program. Thank you for sharing your insights. And of course, let's make this happen in terms of the communication and everything that we need. Of course, thank you as well for being part of the program. You've got lots of tweets that have come through. I haven't been able to read some of them. We started the show late. Apologies for that. And of course, we hope to see you again on Wednesday. Same place, same time. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Goodbye for now.